Welcome to Smack Talk. There's going to be a few links down below, and because it was my birthday yesterday, it was a very special birthday for three reasons. We had the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight, we had SmackDown, and it was my 46th birthday. And I guess there's a fourth one. I hit a goal weight I haven't reached since the turn of the millennium. In 2000, I haven't been this weight since the late 90s. I am now 220 pounds. It is awesome. Down from 238 on October the 1st. Fuck around. That's the only reason I'm going to talk about it super quickly. Okay, it's not going to be some long, convoluted thing. But first, let's get down to business. Two links again for the video recap, official from WWE, and then the text one, which is actually working this week. And I'm going to, of course, consolidate my notes to make sure that I don't forget anything. So Cody Rhodes starts off the show, and what was actually really funny about this as I'm sipping on my decaf coffee with cinnamon is I put Cody starts despite being on SmackDown. Sometimes I get so, not like confused, but like in the moment, what'll end up happening is I sometimes forget who's like on what main brand, because sometimes there's like crossover and stuff like that. And then I was like, okay, so we're going to backspace that now. Came out, no fancy jacket, no fancy entrances, calls out Kevin Owens. Nick Aldis comes out and says, look, we're all angry. Randy Orton is on the shelf again. And until it's handled internally, Kevin Owens is not going to be here. He got turned away as well. If you take a look at his X/Twitter account, he does a video of that where he also tags Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, Nick Aldis, and the one and only, somebody that we saw bad blood momentarily, The Rock. And because he's on the board, could it be that we could potentially see The Rock? That's a rumor now, and I was already thinking this too, where we could potentially see him next week on SmackDown when Kevin Owens is there to be reinstated, because again, the whole Rock thing, right, with Cody, get it? They're not over yet, right? That would just further add fuel to the fire. So it's going to be great. Cody also gave a great promo about what am I supposed to do here? Just sit here and go to Kevin Owens' house? I know that you don't want me to do that. So this is water. Not that you care, I'm just saying. Then backstage, OG Bloodline discussed with Reigns that was soon arriving, and then he walked in the middle of the segment, and Sammy is like, look, man, we're still looking for a fifth member for War Games. He thinks he's got somebody in mind. Again, Jimmy doubting that he knows anybody, and that's pretty much it. Now, first round, triple threat for the women's U.S. title. At Bayley, Candice LeRae, and B-Fab. And B-Fab was fabulous with that face buster. I think it was the first time seeing her like in a match. I think she may have been at a Royal Rumble. I'm not too sure. But anyways, the point was, I was like, oh, okay. I'm just used to her like, you know, walking around and, all right, the Street Profits are going to do this. And standing at ringside, kind of like Maxine Dupree. And then all of a sudden you see her wrestle. You go, oh, okay. Wasn't really expecting that. So that was nice. But then Bayley picks up the win, which, again, hardly a surprise there, right? Because no offense of the three. And Candice LeRae was there. I almost completely forgot to mention her, the Poison Pixie. It just kind of made sense that, you know, she's up there, Bayley, right? So they put her up there. And it'll be nice to see who she's going to face and who is going to end up becoming the very first ever Women's U.S. Championship. LA Knight came out with a little promo and a little BFT action on Berto, even though I kept calling him Umberto. I don't know why that is. But LA Knight, U.S. champ in ring promo, which was actually really good and funny. Says he doesn't want to be like Logan Paul, where he just defends it a couple times a year. So Santos Escobar and the crew, Legado del Fantasma, I always butcher their name, came out. And during the promo, that's where LA Knight was like, hey, this Berto keeps looking at me like he's trying to pierce into my soul. And so that's who the match ended up being with, which was actually really good. LA Knight, of course, retains. And then at the end, Nakamura came out with a slightly different look, kind of looking like the Crow did, like a spinning elbow on LA Knight, dropped him, and then just walked out. Simple as that. Backstage, OG Bloodline, chat. Sammy tells Roman they still can't find a fifth member and that maybe they got to make the call. A call. So Solo and Bloodline 2.0 come out while they're still backstage in a room talking, and Roman Reigns' eyes is like, what? Because they've got this big screen TV in their locker, and they're able to see them come out. So now they come out. So you've got Bloodline 2.0, OG Bloodline coming out, all-out brawl, and it lasted for a while, which was really nice until the security got involved. It was actually I almost said quite delicious. No, my coffee's delicious. It was a quite delicious moment. It was actually really cool. And then Bronson Reed showed up. And I'm like, oh boy. That's their fifth member. And then Jey Uso tells, Roman, you got to make that call. Then we had an in-car Kevin Owens promo again. Love it. He says he was just doing his job. It's going to be on SmackDown in Utah next week to talk with Cody. Street Profits versus the Motor City Machine Gun for the tag titles. It was a great match. Tomato Ciampa. The Tomato Champ got really upset. Came out, ruined the match. Got something in my eye again. Attacked the Street Profits, and then, as you could tell in that thumbnail there, he wasn't trying to use the Force. He pushed a Gargano on his ass because he's obsessed with the tag titles, doesn't think the Motor City Machine Guns deserve it. And that's pretty much it. But it was a really, really fun match to watch. I really enjoyed it. And even the Street Profits vibe coming out, there was no, goofiness. It was, straight on some serious shit. Then Naomi versus Nia... Blah. I almost said Nia Toyo. What? Naomi versus Nia Jax. My goodness. The Women's Championship. I thought this was a great match. The rear view finisher for me, I still have to admit, is odd. I'm like, yeah, you're going to need a lot more than your jumping butt cheeks to take out Nia Jax for the 1, 2, 3. And definitely, as much as I roll my eyes again, no, she's doing quite well. Queen of the Ring, champ. It's believable. And, yeah, I mean, I'm proud of her. I mean, I don't want her as champ, but that's only because she's a heel and she's doing a good job at making us not like her. Sometimes the heels, I like them. But in her case, she's doing her job just great. Definitely, bar none, the best run of her career. And she's able to keep up. Nobody's getting injured. It's really, really great to see, obviously. Then Tiffy came out, and she hit, Naomi once, then throws her back in the ring. Then Bayley comes out. Candice LeRae, same thing. And then, of course, Nia Jax retained. I say of course. However, Naomi is a believable champion as well. She's one of my favorites. Truly, there's quite a few out there that are, in my opinion, deserving of the championship. And I think she would make a great champ. Last but not least, Roman Reigns backstage call. The video went viral everywhere. The number you have reached is no longer in service, which they don't really use that anymore, at least not in Canada. The voice is different, but it's that do-do-do, the number you've reached. It's that old school, 80s, 90s voice that you hear. And now if you want to go back, there was also this thing where on the last time Paul Heyman was in the ring, he actually had 2 phones. He had 2 phones. People are saying, okay, so it's simple. Roman Reigns doesn't have his other phone number, but it's bizarre because being as close as they are, the tribal chief, he's the wise man, they probably go to each other's house. Their kids have probably played together, assuming they have kids. And so that to me is a little not as believable. There's social media. There's, they're on Twitter. So they made it a little bit more dramatic, I think, in my humble opinion, than what it needed to be. Like, oh, that's weird. I'll have to try his other number. But again, they just put too much emphasis on that, in my opinion. Then some people are speculating he changed his number on Roman on purpose. I doubt that. I really just doubt that. But either which way, it ended up being like a big, big talk. Now to get into really quick, just to kind of finish off the show. I don't want to make a separate video on this because this is all things wrestling, not all things boxing. But Jake Paul, brother, Logan Paul, he's in wrestling, whatever. Plus, it was on my birthday. He's like one of my favorite boxers of all time. He is my favorite boxer of all time. I grew up watching him when I was a kid. And, well, then again, he's only 12 years older than me. Yeah, he's 58. I'm 46 now. Jake Paul's only 27, so there's a huge gap. Tyson had the brace around his knee. He was sick, coughing up blood a few months back. Not making excuses for him, but headspace, physical conditioning, I'm not saying it's not there. The years of abuse of alcohol, blah, blah, blah. Jake Paul's a much more, excuse me. He's more sound physically, just overall. And despite that, Jake Paul just could not knock his ass out. Mike Tyson wasn't able to either. He came out of the gate pretty quick at first. And then what ended up happening is he kind of played the Muhammad Ali and was playing defensive. He wasn't being as aggressive. A lot of people have been arguing, oh, Jake Paul was holding back. I honestly don't think Jake Paul was holding back at all. What's funny about saying that is I actually think Mike Tyson was holding back. I truly do. I've watched every single Tyson fight in history live. I've never missed a match. And there was just something that was different than the last time he was in the ring just a few years ago. People keep saying, well, he's getting old, bruh. I was like, yeah, that's not what it is. And you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. But a lot of people had that feeling. Some people are saying it was staged. I'm not going to start throwing conspiracies and saying, oh, the match was thrown, it was staged, it was fixed, whatever you want to call it. All I know was I really enjoyed this moment, the anticipation. I was on the edge of my seat. Well, really the bed, but anyhow. And it was on Netflix, so I didn't have to pay like an enormous amount to watch the match. It's estimated, I don't know if the whole person total was $40 million or if Tyson got $40 million. But let's just say he got paid more than I could ever imagine if I even lived to the age of 1,000. So, you know what? Jake Paul, you could think what you want of him. I generally don't hold much positive thought for him. Same as I used to with his brother Logan Paul, although I've grown to be quite fond of Logan Paul. I have a lot of respect for him. I think he's grown as a person. He's matured. Sure, he's still, a little goofy here and there, but I guess we all kind of can be to some extent. Jake Paul, again, really young, 27. But he showed some maturity. He was quite humble. There wasn't any trash talking. Really praised Mike Tyson, and he's very lucky. He's very lucky. I mean, I can't say I've been in the ring with Mike Tyson. I would have loved to, right? Even if I get clocked out in 2 seconds, who cares? It's Mike Tyson, right? So for me, it was a great moment for him. Not a lot of people, especially younger generation, can get in the ring with somebody like Mike Tyson to have the star presence to be relevant enough to be able to even be mentioned or thought of. And so the whole event for me was great. Of course, part of me wanted to see Mike Tyson do a good old bop and just knock his ass out to get that solid victory. But to me, even though Mike Tyson lost the match from a point perspective, it still made Mike Tyson look really, really strong, in my opinion. Like I said, pushing 60 years old. That you have to take those things into consideration. That's a huge, huge thing. And I thought he did well. I really do. And then Jake Paul at the same time did really well too. We can laugh and say, well, Jake Paul can't even knock out a 60-year-old man. Sure, he's not any old, average 60-year-old man. And I would argue that most people that would get in a ring with Jake Paul probably wouldn't do too well. I mean, if I could, and I trained, I'm not a boxer. I did martial arts for quite a few years and stuff like that. Boxing's different, right? Look what happened to Conor McGregor when he decided to do boxing. You can't do MMA. You can't use all your tricks like I've learned. It's just straight boxing. Oh, I would love to box. I love the idea of boxing. I don't care if I win or lose. It's not even about that. It's about the experience. It's about being in the moment, the adrenaline rush. And most importantly, God damn it, it's the freaking money. Are you kidding me? If you get in the ring, if you do celebrity boxing, that's another reason why it's so big, is this whole celebrity boxing thing. It's making you more money, arguably, practically, than like your standard World Boxing Federation, whatever, I forget what the acronym is, but it's huge. So if you're on Jake Paul's radar or Mike Tyson's radar and you're doing like a celebrity boxing match, you're going to be getting paid big bucks. But then if you're already a celebrity, you're probably already wealthy, right? So that's where, like, I would never even stand a chance to even be called. You bet your ass I would, though. I want to get myself a Fox Body Mustang and a Subaru Impreza. I got big dreams, you know what I mean? Right now, I'm just at a comfortable stage where I can buy fucking shoes, right? That's not really anything to brag about. So, yeah, like I said, I'm happy for the two of them. It looks like they shared a great moment, respected each other, and it ended up just really nice. You know, nobody got hurt, nobody got knocked the fuck out. And that's just what it is. So yeah, there you have it. Thumbs up as always if you did like the video. I'll put a link down as well for The Guardian there to credit their article, which I skimmed through quickly. And yeah, thumbs up. If you like the video, it does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm and trying to make me more relevant in the search results when people are looking shit up online. If you didn't like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs down. I'll bend it in half, I'll twist it. But this time there ain't no solo Sakoan spike with your own thumb in the back end. Tyson's coming to bite that thumb. You expected that to happen for me to say that. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, I mean, naturally that would be great. But if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And maybe I'll see some of you, see what I did there, in the next one. Bye for now.